So this is your first hunt. And you've come to the most dangerous planet in the universe. You're after a creature that can't be killed. The definitive apex predator.
I could help you.
Well, good luck with your journey. Here, you're not the predator. You're the prey.
Treacherous!
You might not be alone in this hunt.
Predator: Badlands marks a significant shift in the franchise, positioning a member of the Yautja Predator species as the main protagonist and underdog for the first time. The film takes place in the far future on a remote, deadly planet called Genna. The story begins on Yautja Prime, the Predator homeworld, and focuses on Dick, played by Dimitrius Schuster-Koloamatangi, a young, smaller Yautja considered the runt of his powerful clan. Dick's father, Njohrr, the clan leader, views him as weak and a liability. Determined to earn honor and prove his worth to his father, Dick takes a sacred vow to hunt and kill the Kalisk, a legendary, supposedly unkillable apex predator native to the hostile planet Genna. Before Dick can leave on his mission, Njohrr orders Dick's older brother, Kwei, to kill him, believing Dick is too weak to survive the hunt and would only dishonor the clan. Kwei, however, defies his father's order, and instead of killing Dick, he sends his brother on the mission to Genna, hoping he will succeed and redeem himself. Dick steals Kwei's ship and heads for the treacherous planet. Dick crash lands on Genna, a planet filled with bizarre, deadly flora and fauna. Without his own clan gear, he lacks a cloaking device or shoulder cannon, reflecting his outcast status. Dick must rely on his basic weapons and wits against the overwhelming dangers. Early in his journey, Dick encounters Tia, played by Al Fanning, a highly damaged Weyland-Yutani synthetic android who is cut in half. Having lost her lower body and most of her crew during a failed corporate expedition to Genna, Tia and her team were also on the planet hunting the Kalisk for study and corporate interests. An unlikely alliance forms. Tia, possessing deep knowledge of the planet and the Kalisk, offers to help Dick find the creature. In return, Dick reluctantly agrees to carry the severed synthetic on his back, using her as a tool for navigation and information. Along the way, their tense partnership slowly evolves as Thea's empathetic programming and constant chatter soften Dick's isolated hunter mentality. They are later joined by a small, monkey-like native creature that Tia names Bud. Bud bonds with Dick, marking him as a protective part of its territory and effectively becoming the third member of their makeshift clan. Meanwhile, Thea's twin synthetic sister, Tessa, also fainting, is reactivated. Tessa is the cold, ruthless counterpart. Programmed for efficient data retrieval and combat, Tessa begins tracking Dick and Tia, determined to secure the Kalisk specimen for Weyland-Yutani. Dick finally confronts the legendary Kalisk. The creature is a formidable, regenerating beast, though Dick manages to sever the Kalisk's head in their first encounter. The creature quickly regenerates and defeats the Predator. However, the Kalisk surprisingly spares Dick's life, detecting the scent bud on him. This moment of vulnerability is exploited by Weyland-Yutani. Tessa arrives with a full Weyland-Yutani bioweapons team and captures both the Kalisk and Dick, holding them for steady. Tessa, now piloting a large mechanical power loader mech, and armed with Dick's own confiscated Yautja laser weapon, prepares to kill the Kalisk, viewing the unpredictable creature as a threat and a specimen to be terminated. Dick, seeing his chance for honor and his unique bond with Tia and Bud in jeopardy, manages to escape his captivity. He teams up with Tia and Bud to fight Tessa and the Weyland-Yutani team. In the ensuing battle, Dick and Bud destroy Tessa and her mech, killing the corporate synthetic and securing their freedom. Sometime later, Dick, having successfully completed his journey and found a new form of honor, returns to Yautja Prime. He is accompanied by an older Bud and the intact head and torso of Tia, carrying Tessa's skull as a trophy. Dick confronts his father Njohrr. He defeats his father, claiming the traditional Yautja cloak and weaponry, thereby avenging his brother Kwei, who was eventually killed by Njohrr for protecting Dick, and proving himself worthy not just through the traditional hunt, but through forming an unconventional plan built on survival and mutual respect. The film concludes with Dick's return and his new status as a formidable warrior, having redefined the meaning of honor for himself and his new companions.